Good morning, good morning, good morning. How are you today? I hope you're doing well. It's Friday. It is Friday. How are you? Friday. Won't you be my neighbor? Just a minute. My favorite cup. Mornings are better with BKP Politics, the voice of rural America. Now, this cup disappears from time to time because rumor is it has to go in the dishwasher. I could rinse it out and just keep going. I'm your host, BKP. You're watching BKP Politics on voiceofruralamerica.com. How many? Tell us. How many? Are you telling me you don't know how many? Give me video 24, Diane. Good morning, Diane. How are you? Friday. Give me video 24.
Mornings. You're the Secretary of Health and Human Services. You don't have any idea how many Americans died from COVID? I don't think anybody knows.
Under fire and firing back. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. defending his views on vaccines and the chaos at the CDC. The president's reaction to his performance.
Are you telling me you don't know? Are you telling me you don't know how many? You are HHS secretary and you don't know how many died from COVID? No, we do not, sir. We do not. We do not have accurate numbers. We have died with, we have died from, we have died in a car crash marked COVID. We've got died if you had COVID or somewhere around COVID. You got a little extra money on the funeral. You got a little extra money in the hospital. The reimbursement was a little different if you check off the COVID. No, we really don't know. We really don't know. You don't know. Man, did Big Pharma come out yesterday and Big Insurance. Ooh, full display. But I will say this. We're going to dig into that. Now, there is 3 hours I cannot get back in my life. 3 hours. So yesterday was an unusually, I will say this, it was an unusually busy phone day. It's like, hello, hello, hello. Text message, bzz, bzz, bzz. That's not a bee buzzing. That was my text message. And then I'm trying to watch. I keep pausing. I'm trying to watch 3 hours of this. Normally, folks, I will not watch these hearings. They're just made for TV entertainment. Well, if that's what you want to call it. But usually I won't watch these. I just pick up some clips from time to time. But I watched all 3 hours yesterday. All 3 hours. Enormous amount. And RFK Jr. did an amazing job. He stood up to them. He did an amazing job. He never folded one time. He never took their BS. He punched right back. We will show you so many of those today. Now, we got a lot to go over. You know, I say to myself, that would be me. Don't do it. But you know, my dad died with COVID. I know so many stories out there. You know stories out there. You know stories where they pushed your grandparents in a nursing home and locked them in there and locked the doors. And you had, folks, these people have the nerve to absolutely tell us and preach to us when you're the ones that went to the glass and had a birthday party for your grandparents, and you held up a cake outside a nursing home, and you held balloons while they waved because they were locked inside. And then people were dying. And then they want you to believe that this miraculous warp speed miracle shot that you cannot call a vaccine because a vaccine eradicates something. This shot saved millions of lives. And this shot alone, I don't care Donald Trump, no Donald Trump, that this shot alone allowed children to go back to school and go to the playground and allowed you to go enjoy dinner on Friday night and open your business. This is what made it happen. And if you don't believe that, you're not trusting the science. We will go into much more of that. We will not forget that. One day of attacking RFK Jr., RFK Jr. said, you need to go in and fire everybody and clean house. There was no shock. All right. Now, that being said, yesterday, there was breaking news. I want number 83 and 84 in just a minute. 83 and 84. So, yesterday I get this message. I get a message and I look at it and I was like, okay, interesting. So let me Google this because if this is true, it's going to be all over the internet by now. It's going to be all over. The minute I put this in X, the search in X, the search in Google or anywhere, it's just going to start blowing up. So I go ahead and I look through Google. Nothing at all. I look in X, nothing. No one. And I'm like, so I go back to the documents. And I'm like, these documents are real. They're real. And I'm thinking now, our email, can you put our side slide up before just a minute? And then we're going to want some pictures. Can you put that up? Because our, right there on X, we're Voice of Rural AM. You can't put America. Voice of Rural AM on X if you follow us. All right. So if you follow us, so take that down. So yesterday afternoon, I get the documents. I search, and I'm like, well, it's nowhere. And then I say, do I run with this? Because if I run with this, I'm breaking the news. And then I do the other thing that I do around here when you guys send me stuff. I say, is this a trusted source? I look again, I say, well, it's a pretty good trusted source. So I went with it. And I put it up, number 83. I put it up. And there it was. Voice of Rural AM on X was the first to put this out. Everywhere yesterday after, oh, what is this? Gabriel Sterling is running for Secretary of State of Georgia. And this is the declaration that you have to file so you can start raising money. And everyone, AJC, Politico, no matter where you got this information yesterday, it started with us right here. And we broke this. And I have to go back to the trusted source. That was Diane. Yeah, Diane broke that story yesterday. Yeah. Diane sent me this, and I was like, because Diane and I, we have known, we've talked about it, we've had it on the show. We told you when Gabriel Sterling, this is the document you file, and there's two things we're going to look at. Gabriel Sterling is running for Secretary of State of Georgia, all right? And this is a national story because almost everyone in America out there that follows election integrity or has followed the 2020 election, the crime of the century, you know our Secretary of State, Brad Raffensperger, and you know Gabriel Sterling. And Gabriel Sterling, the Dominion subcontractor at the time of the election, we'll go into that during the Georgia Hour. We'll give you a little brief history of Gabriel Sterling if you're not aware of him. But he is running, and guess what? Ryan Germany. Do you know who Ryan Germany is? Yes, that's right. Oh, you're thinking Secretary of State, legal counsel, all the above? Yes. And I'm also thinking Ryan Germany is the Fulton County election supervisor, independent supervisor over the election, the monitor. There you go. I knew there was a word out there I wanted. Ryan Germany is the Fulton County election monitor that Fulton County accepted. They don't accept Jason Frazier, but they sure as hell like a good Ryan Germany and a Gabriel Sterling when they could get one. Anyhow, so that's out there. We'll talk more about that. We now have, here it is right here. Give me number 77. This in the Georgia Hour. We'll go a little further. Diane, nice catch out there. Diane broke this news yesterday. Gabriel Sterling joins Republican race for Georgia elections chief. There he is. Now, Diane, we're waiting on Brad Raffensperger, so that was a great catch, but that one's over. I'm waiting for you to reel the next fish in a boat. We are waiting for Brad Raffensperger, Secretary of State of Georgia, to make an announcement soon. And I'm predicting for governor to run for governor of Georgia. Take that down. All right. So if Brad Raffensperger if he happens to win the governor's race in Georgia, he would be the governor that would approve the next election system in Georgia. Is that how? Whoa. Could that happen? Could he fall right into the spot that he actually approves the next? Interesting. All right, take that down. Now, yesterday, number 62, I just want to put this up. We got a lot to cover. Today is Friday. I've got a lot to do. The Georgia Hour is large. I mean, it is large right here. I got to get the glare off the Rat Pack up here because that's one of my favorites. Dr. Roger Marshall. Now, what we will do, Kansas, senator from Kansas, okay? And what we're going to do is all of the deep state corporate corrupt media, they continue to run what? Kennedy, right? Kennedy and Barrasso. And they continue to tell you Barrasso from Wyoming, Kennedy from Louisiana, why these are doctors. Why they're doctors. They keep over and over. And all of the mainstream, and I told you this yesterday with Marjorie Taylor Greene, and we're going to close the book on Marjorie Taylor Greene here in just a minute. But the book is closed on MTG, and I'll explain. But if the deep state corporate corrupt media, the Mockingbird media, the MSNBC, the CNN, the ABC, CBS, even Fox, the Murdoch zoo crew over there, each and every one of those networks, they're running two doctors. Everything about this hearing is coming from two doctors. There is one Fox interview with this guy here. This is a doctor out of Kansas, a senator who has delivered thousands of babies. Delivered thousands of babies. At no time this morning can you find any of his comments concerning vaccines and vaccinating children. So we're going to talk about that in just a moment. What say you? I need you to chime in. I need some help here. Someone talk to me. What's going on? Give me number 65. Now, I told you this yesterday. It was coming down the pike. And Diane, you know this. President Donald Trump was inaugurated January 20th. On January 21st, the day after, he didn't sleep in. He didn't say, you know what, I'm going to just ride around town and wave to people. He had his very first press event with Sam Altman and the guy from, is it called SoftBank or whatever, and the other guy, I forget his name. Anyhow, first thing. And they have been on the AI, the electric, the Trump administration is allowing these people to build their own electric plants. They have been on the tech kick since June 21st. And last night, why is Bill Gates and, why is Mark Zuckerberg's Trump's new buddy to the right? Now you got Bill Gates sitting there. You got to help me with this. You have to. You got to come through and start talking to me. You got to give me okay, here's what I think's really happening. Because I would be the last person to say, wow, I've got this, just bam, bam, I got it. Now, Bill Gates, give me video, because I want to know, how's Little X? How is Little X? Has anybody seen Little X lately? Is he in school? Is he doing well? Does he miss his days with Grandpa Trump at the White House? I mean, how is Little X? I kind of miss Elon. Give me video 13.
Nice.
Yes.
It's just, it's so blatant. It's so obvious. The SpaceX lawsuit, the Trump stuff, it's so obvious.
Yes. Like known Epstein clients who are obviously extremely powerful, they're powerful politically and very wealthy, are Bill Gates, Bill Clinton, and Reid Hoffman. And some others too, but those three. So, why was Reid Hoffman so intent on destroying Trump?
Do you think it's because they're worried about the list coming out?
Yeah, one of the reasons. Yeah.
So let me ask you a question. If you're sitting there today and you're thinking the list is coming out, all right, the list is coming out, and names will be named, and is her name Melinda Gates? Is that his ex-wife's name? Remember we played the video? Remember that, Diane? We played the video, and she had to get out of there. She met Jeffrey Epstein one time, and I can't quote her, but I think it was like satanic. Demonic. It just oozed of evil, and it was so creepy. She had to get out. She couldn't take meeting Jeffrey Epstein one time, his ex-wife. So there is well-known Epstein friend Bill Gates over here next to Melania, and then the guy that bought almost every drop box in Georgia and this guy purchased for Fulton County the drive around ice cream / bookmobile / vote here vans. Yes. They would go in, they had mobile vans, and they would go in with the bullhorn to a mall and blast out that they had mobile voting out in the parking lot. Now, these vans are only supposed to be used in emergency situations to create a temporary polling location. If your location's power goes out, something happens, the machines go down, whatever, they can pull this into your location and it can be used as a temporary polling location to supplement and take the place for one that's down. Not to be an extra one driving around town. And they did that. No, I'm sorry. We're not supposed to tell you that. But there's a guy that purchased drop boxes all across the country. Trump's putting out mail-in ballot is fraud. And Zuckerberg right there. And Trump seems to like the guy. I don't know if Zuckerberg has repented. I'm serious. I don't know if he's gone to him in private and said, can you please forgive me? I don't know. They seem to get along. And then you have number 64. You've got Sam Altman, who has a husband. Just throw that in the mix, right? Sam Altman, I don't know if his husband attended. They just adopted a baby. He is there. And that's Tim Cook with Apple. Just saying. Just saying. Oh, Lord, you can't make this up. Let's see what else we have, because I'm going to take a break and we're going to come back and we're going to drill down, baby. We're going to drill, baby, drill. Remember this one right here, number 28. And this is one of the things I want to bring up. Let me say this. There are people out there that have contacts I don't have. And there are people out there that find things out. And there's some good sources out there that I look at that put things out. If you do not see me follow that, if you don't see me jump on board immediately, just think about it a minute. Say, hey, this is big news. It's all over, but BKP is not. Where's he at on this? Because I know things and how they work, and I refuse to come and do this show at any time where I'm just trying to connect to you emotionally. Never. Won't do it. Now, I'm an excitable boy, right? It's even in the song, right? Do you know the song? Just saying. All right. Right. So Warren Zevon, excitable boy. So I'm an excitable boy, right? But last week, everybody started whooping things up into a frenzy about paper ballots. And I tried to tell you, relax. Because the way it works is you know who. Well, if you don't, I'm going to tell you. He has to give the green light. I think this is it. Boom, boom, boom. I have it here. Now don't go anywhere. Let me see which this one is. Give me number 90. And we're gonna do this in the George Hour. I just want to put it out because I don't like misinformation. And in Georgia, we don't have a middle of the road. We don't have a middle of the road. We have the facts. We work through it. We check things out. or we just have just blathermouth, blathering, I'm not going to say ugly words, grifters out there that just want clicks. In a rare show of election bipartisanship, some Democrat lawmakers, including Representative Hank Johnson and Senator Elena Parent, is that her name, are supporting a Republican effort to move towards hand-marked ballots. Now, the proposal for paper ballots filled out by hand came Tuesday from Republican leaders of the State House Election Committee, right? To replace Georgia touch screen. But, see, you're out there, America, let me tell you this, because what happens in Georgia, we have people all over the United States that are paying attention. Ever since 2020, you say Georgia, and they zero in like a laser. And I want you to have the facts. So when Tim Fleming, the chair who's running for Secretary of State of Georgia, all right, and Victor Anderson, nice guy, nice enough guy, but vice chair of the committee, the blue ribbon panel, it must be important. It's called Blue Ribbon Panel. You wouldn't have a blue ribbon panel if it was not important. But the Blue Ribbon Panel, right? I did not intend to go here. But they sent a letter. And then Josh McCoon, the chairman of the Georgia Republican Party, and Sally Grubhub, the first vice chair, go, go, go. Paper ballots, go. And Brad the Carver, well, I'm not going to say it. I'll save that one for the Georgia Hour. But they all started saying paper ballots, rah, rah, rah. I told you, Brad Raffensperger will say no. He has to decide if the pilot project could be put in place. Let's see. The proposal, blah, blah, blah. But Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger opposes the idea for a test run during November's Public Service Commission election. His office said that the state law requires a uniform voting system. All 159 counties, he's saying, has to vote the same way. Now, before you go and give me the arguments that this law, the machines break this law, meaning we could do this, I get it. I'm with you. But I told you all along, Brad Raffensperger would not let you use these paper ballots. And I said, you know, you're being set up. You're being set up. And everybody's going to get whooped into a frenzy. And this is what's going to happen. All right, folks, we're going to take a break. But before we do, we're going to come back. My hero of the week. I don't want to wait, Diane. Give me number 95. This guy is the hero of the week. What an amazing guy. Dr. Joseph Lombardo, Florida Surgeon General. He really fired everything up. Great guy. 90. I know I have it. I thought I brought it over. Do you have, yeah, there it is, 49. And then we're going to go to break after we talk about this. Central Georgia Republican Fish Fry 2025, 49. Folks, candidates, you're the voter. They're the candidates. Come and ask them questions. Talk to them. I mean, this is going to be great. This is going to be a great event. And I know a lot of people are thinking, and the Georgia Republican 8th District no longer has a fundraiser, fish fry, as a fundraiser. Folks, you got to go to a fish fry. You can't miss that. And this is Central Georgia There's about 6 Republican parties. There may be more, but this is September 27th, and we'll have some big information coming out about this fish fry in the Georgia Hour. So Elizabeth Warren, she was doing her wah, wah, wah. What did Trump said she needed drug tested. Take a break.
At Days Chevrolet in Jasper, we're proud because for more than 65 years, we've built a legacy of trust for the families we serve. That's why 80% of our business comes from repeat customers and referrals. When you treat folks as well as we do, word is bound to get around. Days Chevrolet in Jasper, family first since 1959. Days Chevrolet, Days gets it done. Together, let's drive.
Larry's Body Shop in Ellijay. Family owned and operated since 1978. The latest in cutting-edge digital technology and state-of-the-art equipment allow our iCard Gold Class certified technicians to restore your vehicle. Our second-to-none customer service will work directly with your insurance company. Major accident or minor fender bender. We take the dents out of accidents. Larry's Body Shop, North Georgia's #1 body shop. Visit us at collisiondecision.com.
Why give your money to liberal media companies? Put your marketing needs in the hands of a conservative marketing professional and start getting results today. FYN Media Group, one of the top digital marketing agencies in Georgia, specializes in website design and hosting, social media promotion and management, and so much more. Visit FYNmediagroup.com or call 706-889-3564 for a free consultation.
Welcome to El Rey Azteca Mexican Restaurant. We invite you to indulge your senses with our from-scratch authentic Mexican food. Whether you are hungry for fajitas or the El Rey Azteca burrito, we offer a wide variety of fine Mexican dishes, drinks, and desserts. Our inviting patio, indoor seating, and bar has a seat for everyone. So come to El Rey Azteca for delicious food, great drinks, good friends, and loads of fun in a casual and friendly atmosphere.
Ladies, when you wear elegant jewelry, you become a force to be reckoned with. You shine brighter than the stars in the sky, and your inner beauty radiates like the sun. So embrace the magic, embrace the elegance, and let your jewelry be a reflection of your true, authentic self. My friends over at North Georgia Diamond know what a woman wants. Go see them for the perfect gift. And remember, when it comes to elegance, there's no such thing as too much. Come see us at North Georgia Diamond. We're igniting passion one sparkle at a time.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
This is a special report.
Knowing how to invest your money is harder than ever before. Dealing with stock market volatility, record debt, and terrorist attacks requires new thinking. At U.S. Asset Management, We can help you see the world more clearly so that you can move beyond the chaos and invest with confidence. Call us, visit us online, or drop by our office. U.S. Asset Management, helping you make better decisions with your money.
Mesquite Grill, now offering online ordering for your convenience. Check out our new website at mesquitegrillbr.com. That's mesquitegrillbr.com. The great food and service you have come to expect, ready for you when you arrive. Open 7 days a week with a fully stocked bar and friendly service. Bring your furry friends with you and dine on our pet-friendly patio. Also, check out our catering options and let us prepare delicious food for your next event.
All right, folks, I'm back. I'm your host. You see that right there? I gotta get that off there. Anyhow, hi, how are you? I'm your host, BKP. You're watching BKP Politics on voiceofruralamerica.com. Hi, Diane, how are you? Weather is going to be beautiful. Little rain here, a little rain there. Now, okay. Marjorie Taylor Greene, and I want to get this over with. There's two things I want to get over. I want to get finished. I want to finish up. Because I got to get an RFK. I think I'm going to spend a solid hour on RFK this morning. But Marjorie Taylor Greene, and I get the question all the time, so I want to run with it. Diane, I just sent you. It's not numbered. I just sent you a Marjorie Taylor Greene, and I want you to put that up. So Marjorie Taylor Greene is the congresswoman in the 14th district. Marjorie Taylor Greene participated. Several sources said she actually spent a lot of money in trying to get rid of me. And finish me off as far as what I do on a daily basis, my voice coming to you. She did make an attempt to try to ruin me. She did, okay, and ruin this program. All because I told the truth. She pushed forward asking for my resignation as first vice chair of the Georgia Republican Party. And it is because it is one of the many reasons. It's because I put a highlight on her unusual attraction and attachment to Kevin McCarthy. All right. So when she did all the things, you can go follow Laura Loomer, and Laura Loomer may, she may expand on all the things and what all the things may be that Marjorie Taylor Greene is accused of. I won't do it here, but for some reason, she was very attached to Kevin McCarthy. I brought that up. And I stood up to her where that was concerned. Then I've often told you for how long now that she uses the 14th District of Georgia as a cash register, a personal cash register. I've said that for God knows how long, right? Now, you are aware of how she's enriched herself. I know there's others. Well, you're going to say, well, what about Omar in Minnesota? Okay, all right. What about AOC? What about this one here? Look, Marjorie Taylor Greene has really enriched herself in the 14th district. She uses that district as a cash register. She has her stock trades that have done well. And as the congresswoman from the 14th District of Georgia, she has always run the pro-MAGA hat, Donald Trump. She has. Now, she put this out at 6:49. She has totally and completely separated herself for Donald Trump. I'm saying this, no one called and told me. She's not welcome in the White House. Trump is not meeting with her. She's very, very angry at Donald Trump. She's very angry. Marjorie Taylor Greene is no longer Trump MAGA. Now, she'll say she's MAGA. She'll say, I'm MAGA. I'm America first. Nothing has changed. And then she'll try to spin that she still supports President Trump. But she is no longer Trump MAGA, period. She is so angry with Donald J. Trump. I mean, she's spitting bullets and they're coming out right now on a daily basis. So Bill Gates, she put this out this morning. I don't disagree with this. But I'm just saying, you need to be clear, Marjorie Taylor Greene is no longer connected to Donald J. Trump. And no matter what she says, she's not Trump MAGA any longer. We're going to close the book on this. For the record, I'm not going to eat Bill Gates' fake meat, okay? His bugs, take the never-ending vaccines, or gene editing, right? And I still haven't forgotten about Zuck Bucks. So this is true. But what she's doing here this morning is letting you know. And I asked you this morning how you feel about, Mark Zuckerberg and Bill Gates sitting there with Donald Trump last night. But she is totally out. Now, take that down. So, if she has wanted to, for God knows how long, I have it here. Hold on. She has wanted to elevate herself to a statewide position. Now, I watched this, and I'm going to lay this out because I want to close the book on Marjorie Taylor Greene. People keep asking me what happened to Marjorie Taylor Greene, and it's going to be very clear here in just a minute. And as I said, closing the book. I have it here, Diane. I know I have it. Let's see, because I cropped it out this morning. I remember it. So I thought that's exactly what I've been saying. There's Gabe Sterling. There she is. Give me number 74. Now, Marjorie Taylor Greene, what you may not know out there, and I've told you this for a long time, she's used the 14th District for a cash register for God knows how long. And let me say this. If you're out there from sea to shining sea, all right, the 14th District of Georgia has probably, I live in the 9th District, the 2nd District is the whole entire state. But the 14th District of Georgia has amazing people, amazing patriots. Just love this country, love Donald J. Trump. They vote America first. Great people, 14th District. And she's abused that and, again, used it as a cash register. Now, this is Patricia Murphy of the AJC. And if you're not out there, Patricia Murphy at the AJC, if you go back and look at the history of any of the media, I told you this yesterday, anytime Marjorie Taylor Greene is in a highlight video, and I don't mean a negative, I'm talking about a highlight reel with MSNBC, CNN, ABC, all the above, all right, those networks. And you have Jonathan Lemire and Joe Scarborough saying, well, I really never thought that I would sit here and think I agree with Marjorie Taylor Greene when this is happening, all right? And then the AJC. Now, the AJC, she has worked with them, and particularly Patricia Murphy. An unexpected salute to Marjorie Taylor Greene. This is an opinion piece by Patricia Murphy down at the AJC. Marjorie Taylor Greene, if you're out there in America, what you don't realize, in the last year, she's worked really hard in Georgia to try to look and come across as normal. And don't get that wrong. I'm not attacking, but they have always looked at her as the lady with the tinfoil hat. They've always made fun of her. They've always attacked her. Never positive press. But the AJC really tried to help her in the last year because they wanted her for a candidate. They wanted her for either Senate or governor because they have known all along she cannot win a statewide election. She can't do it on the general ballot. They know that. So they've been helping her. They've been helping her right along. If you can go back and you can look at multiple article after article in the last year where they're not so rough, angry, attacking her, actually giving her some mainstream, like maybe she's okay. Now, that being said, give me video. Video 23.
Congresswoman, do you regret your decision to support Kevin McCarthy?
Do you have a real job or even a real life? I don't think so.
All right, so that question, when she was asked that, it made her quite angry. Get a real job. Do you have a real life? Get a real job. Do you regret? Now, give me number 85. And MTG's family is paid by her campaign. Today, she exposed herself as a conspirator with Democrats. As a result of her campaign funds will likely evaporate since MAGA hats, rhinos. With that in mind, what will MTG's family do for work? MTG once told me to get a real job, so I'm very concerned about her family's employment situation. MTG is through. Now, she can continue to be the congresswoman of the 14th district, but her star has fizzled out. And she's grabbing on to the Jeffrey Epstein. She's grabbing on to anything she can, hopefully, to sustain and get a new source of revenue. If you think Marjorie Taylor Greene is on board, right, and she is out there fighting for the victims and wanting to get the list out, and she'll go on that floor and she will name names, damn it. She's not afraid. When the list comes out, I'll go do it. I'll go name the damn names right on that. It is only because she's looking for a new revenue source. Now, this is a get even. Get even. That's where we're at here. All right. Now, yesterday, she's on, where is it at here? I have it. I'm going to get this one, and then I'm going to close the book, and I'm going to explain to you what's going on. I'm going to wrap it right up there, put a bow on it. Why is she so hard supporting, what's his name out of Kentucky, looking for the Epstein list, and now she is all over Give Me 103. Here's Marjorie yesterday, 103. Epstein's story is not a hoax. Many MAGA supporters call for the release of the Epstein files. Real America's Voice with Eric Bolling, and she's on there. It's not a hoax. All right. So what is she doing right now is sticking a knife. Now, however you feel when we're done, And that's the great thing about this show, because if anybody knows the great thing about this show, it would be me. It's a great show. But the great thing about this show, when we're done, you draw your own conclusion. You draw your own conclusion. But what Marjorie Taylor Greene right now is doing is sticking the knife in Trump's back and twisting it. That's what's happening. And this is where we're going to close the book on her. Now, she did put her little high heels on and her little red dress and wiggled her ass all over the place at every MAGA rally. She did. I was at MAGA rallies, to her credit, where they have a long line of speakers waiting for Donald Trump to land, where people would ignore all the speakers and wouldn't pay attention, but she went on the stage in this crowd and would get the loudest, at times, applause. You got it? She went on the floor of Congress and broke the rules and wore her MAGA hat. She pushed Joe Biden to say Laken Riley's name. She went on the floor and broke the rules and wore a Trump is right about everything hat so she can get attention. And she could do everything the president wants. She flew everywhere around the United States. Now, it paid off for her. It paid off for her. It did. Her cash register was ringing right up at that time. And she did the work. And she did not get the reward she was looking for. Now, let's take the Senate side. Her polling numbers are so bad in the Senate side for Georgia to run against Jon Ossoff. No way she can win. And then up to recently, and that's another subject in itself here in Georgia, but up to recently, Brian Kemp, till a couple weeks ago, the governor of Georgia, Brian Kemp, and Donald Trump had a handshake agreement to pick a candidate they could both unify behind and support, and it wasn't Marjorie Taylor Greene. So Marjorie Taylor Greene felt, you need to return for me. You need to support me. You need to endorse me. You need to write one of those big endorsements. I'm going to come out. I'm going to announce I'm running for Senate. Because in Washington, D.C., right, the senator, if you're a member of Congress, that's one thing. But if you're a member of the Senate, that's where the real money's at. I mean the real money. Ask Mitch McConnell. He'll tell you. And she wanted to go to that Senate side. Yes, she wanted to go to that Senate side where there's only 100 members. But Trump said no, and she didn't get the endorsement. I was in the room when she was at the Georgia Republican Party, Inc. rigged convention, all right, over here in Dalton, in her district. And I was there. And even Greg Bluestein at the AJC wrote the article immediately after she left the stage. And she gave basically, I'm running for governor speech. Yes. And you looked at each other like, is she running for governor? And then she came out on X and started talking about state taxes and property taxes in Georgia. State issues, not federal issues. And all eyes were like, she's coming out running for governor. Now remember this, when she made her decision, which wasn't hers, all right, and she was told you're not getting Donald Trump's endorsement, she wrote the "if I run, I win." Remember, if I would run for Senate, I would win. But, and here is the long reason why I'm not running. Major angry lady. Then she goes to Trump and she wants the endorsement. But Burt Jones's father has already purchased it. It's already been paid for. It's Burt Jones's dad basically has the receipt for it where he's written the checks. And Marjorie has not written the checks to the campaign. She feels like she has kept Trump propped up where he needs to be. She feels like Trump owes her. But Trump's sitting there with the checks from Burt Jones's dad. And Marjorie wants that damn governor's office. And she wants that Trump endorsement. And she deserves it, is according to her and how she feels. She's scorned, folks. This lady is scorned. If you think this lady is not angry at Donald Trump, mad at Donald Trump, that Donald Trump has not paid her back for all of her hard work and support, oh yes, she is scorned. So the polling numbers come out. She can't win a statewide race. And remember on X, she wrote, remember what she did? She wrote that if I run for governor, I would win, but, right? So she told us twice, I want to run for Senate, can't get the endorsement. And now she knows she can't run for governor because Burt Jones, why do you think in Georgia, folks, if you're not in Georgia, why do you think Burt Jones cashed in the Donald Trump endorsement so fast? The lady on the screen. One more time for those in Yorba Linda, California, all right? Why do you think Lieutenant Governor Burt Jones in Georgia, running for governor, cashed in on his Donald Trump endorsement so quickly to shut her out? Period. That's right. To slam the door. So she can't be governor. She can't be the senator. I love you in the 14th district, but she's had enough of you in the 14th district. She's bled you people dry in the 14th district. She's scorned. She's angry at Donald Trump. She's going to get even with him. She will every day, nonstop. So I've closed the book on her. Like I said, this lady right here, I don't hate her. I reached out and tried to talk to her 2 weeks ago. I was going to bring her on the show and see if she wanted to discuss this. But I know right here, looking at the camera, the lady put a lot behind. She got a lot of people and financial support behind trying to shut me down. Because I told you a long time ago, she's been using that 14th district for a cash register. I told you well before Laura Loomer, which I like Laura, not attacking her, but I told you well before Laura Loomer that she had an unusual attraction where Kevin McCarthy's concerned. So, close the book. It's done. I don't want to talk about her no more. I want to come back. I want to talk about Vladimir Putin, right? But don't forget, book's closed on her. That's it. You quit wondering. Now, as I just said earlier, you guys make your own decision. I mean, if you're going down her lane, go down her lane. I'm not mad, but I'm just telling you where it's at. Her and Trump are no more. Give me 49. The fish fry. I want this up there, fish fry. Every time I think about it, I'm going to the fish fry. I'm going to the fish fry. Are you going? You should. You should go and talk to these people and ask questions. I know I'll be there. Take a break.
Day Chevrolet in Jasper, we're proud because for more than 65 years, we've built a legacy of trust for the families we serve. That's why 80% of our business comes from repeat customers and referrals. When you treat folks as well as we do, word is bound to get around. Day Chevrolet in Jasper, family first since 1959. Together, let's drive.
Larry's Body Shop in Ellijay. Family owned and operated since 1978. The latest in cutting edge digital technology and state of the art equipment allow our iCard Gold Class certified technicians to restore your vehicle. Our second to none customer service will work directly with your insurance company. Major accident or minor fender bender, we take the dents out of accidents. Larry's Body Shop, North Georgia's #1 body shop. Visit us at collisiondecision.com.
Why give your money to liberal media companies? Put your marketing needs in the hands of a conservative marketing professional and start getting results today. FYN Media Group, one of the top digital marketing agencies in Georgia, specializes in website design and hosting, social media promotion and management, and so much more. Visit FYNmediagroup.com or call 706-889-3564 for a free consultation.
Welcome to El Rey Azteca Mexican Restaurant. We invite you to indulge your senses with our from-scratch authentic Mexican food. Whether you are hungry for fajitas or the El Rey Azteca burrito, we offer a wide variety of fine Mexican dishes, drinks, and desserts. Our inviting patio, indoor seating, and bar has a seat for everyone. So come to El Rey Azteca for delicious food, great drinks, good friends, and loads of fun in a casual and friendly atmosphere.
Ladies, when you wear elegant jewelry, you become a force to be reckoned with. You shine brighter than the stars in the sky, and your inner beauty radiates like the sun. So embrace the magic, embrace the elegance, and let your jewelry be a reflection of your true, authentic self. My friends over at North Georgia Diamond know what a woman wants. Go see them for the perfect gift. And remember, when it comes to elegance, there's no such thing as too much. Come see us at North Georgia Diamond. We're igniting passion one sparkle at a time.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
This is a special report.
Knowing how to invest your money is harder than ever before. Dealing with stock market volatility, record debt, and terrorist attacks requires new thinking. At U.S. Asset Management, we can help you see the world more clearly so that you can move beyond the chaos and invest with confidence. Call us, visit us online, or drop by our office. U.S. Asset Management, helping you make better decisions with your money.
Mesquite Grill, now offering online ordering for your convenience. Check out our new website at mesquitegrillbr.com. That's mesquitegrillbr.com. The great food and service you have come to expect, ready for you when you arrive. Open 7 days a week with a fully stocked bar and friendly service. Bring your furry friends with you and dine on our pet-friendly patio. Also, check out our catering options and let us prepare delicious food for your next event.
All right, folks, we're back. I'm your host, BKP. You're watching BKP Politics on voiceofruralamerica.com. Diane, I got a way to go Diane text. So Diane broke the news yesterday. Gabriel Sterling in Georgia is running for Secretary of State. Diane, I sent you a text. It came from the show phone. Could you get it and just put it up on the screen? All right, so here's what I'm going to do. Yesterday was political theater. We're going to get there. We have the Georgia hour at 10 o'clock. Yesterday was political theater. I want to talk about real things that are happening in our life. What's going on? Vaccinations, lack of vaccinations, everything that happened yesterday is very important. But for those senators that just did nothing but try to get political theater so they can send out campaign donation requests today, and we have a CR, we're running out of money once again, and that's an interesting time to talk about it. We're running out of money once again. I have always shared the truth with you. All right. Now, whenever Diane can get that up there, she's working on it now. I just sent her something I didn't have earlier. India and China have purchased the oil from Russia. Okay. Russia is not in the actual collapse financially that the world wants to lead you, or our side wants to lead you to believe. Now, I don't know the truth financially where Russia's concerned, but they are pumping the oil and they're selling it to China and they're selling it to India, and India and China are rebranding the oil. Just like a gallon of milk, Walmart does not produce their milk. Somebody rebrands it for them, puts their milk in a Walmart jug. Simple as can be. China and India are distributing Russian oil all over the world. The Europeans want it. People want the oil. And when Lindsey Graham, I feel he's a gay guy, I feel the senator from South Carolina, the gay senator from South Carolina that I feel is an alcoholic, continues, to tell you that we're going to put smashing, crushing sanctions on Russia, China, and India, and support Ukraine. Donald J. Trump, looks like we lost India and Russia to the deepest, darkest China. May they have a long and prosperous future together, President Donald J. Trump. Now, here's just the facts. Modi was over there at China, all right? Kim Jong-un was over there in China. Putin was over there in China. And they have a deal. And Russia's going to sell their oil, and Lindsey Graham is not going to go on Fox News and Sean Hannity and tell you different or anything going to happen. We got serious problems here. They're not bowing. If we start a war, and I mean we, okay, if we start a war with them, we have to sell bonds, the old war bonds, right? The Department of War, Trump's going to name it, the Department of War is going to have to sell war bonds and hope China buys the war bonds so we can go to war? No, folks, it's not going to happen. You're broke. You can't go to war. You don't have the money. They know that. Those three people know that. You can sit here this morning and tell me, well, China, their economy is in the tank, right? Russia, their economy's in the tank. And yours is what? So, let me show you this right here. And I can't believe these people should be taken off the air for actually putting this out here. So, video 33.
Russia's President Vladimir Putin is repeating an invitation that's already been declared a non-starter. He said this morning he's ready to host Ukrainian leader Volodymyr Zelensky for a peace summit in Moscow. Mr. Putin also said he would guarantee Zelensky's security. Never mind that Russia has tried to assassinate him multiple times, according to Ukraine. Mr. Zelensky had said earlier that any proposal for a meeting in Moscow is dead on arrival. Meanwhile, U.S.
Remember, Putin said in Alaska to Trump, maybe next time you come to Moscow. Putin has always been clear. And I'm not taking the Russian side, but he's always been clear. They never wavered. Sergei Lavrov, they have never flinched. They won. They won. Period. And Putin has told Trump through Witkoff and others, and basically probably to his face, if you want me to roll right into Kiev, I will. I mean, they're taking out again what little infrastructure they have. Their power grid, I mean, it's going into winter. And give me number 61. Putin says, look, wouldn't you like to see the little guy? I don't think the little guy would make it out. Zelensky. Putin considers Moscow as the best place to meet with Zelensky. Bring him to me. Bring him to me. Bring him here. I will be glad to talk with him. Bring him here. I don't know. That's not a Russian accent. Putin consider, right? And then here you go. And the Moscow Times. Now, so he says, hey, bring him here. We'll talk. Why should I go anywhere in the world and meet this guy? Why? I'm busy. I'm going to China, meeting with Kim Jong-un, that's going to put 30,000 more troops in here, meeting with Xi Jinping, meeting with Modi from India, that's going to continue to buy our oil, and I need to fly to Brussels or Istanbul, Turkey, or somewhere to meet with this guy? No, he can come to my house if he wants. I'll make him welcome. Give him securities and dessert. Drink up. Give me video. Now, this is the other one, okay? Video 34.
Leaders can be arranged. And of course, this morning we heard from President Putin, who's attending the 10th Eastern Economic Forum in Vladivostok, where he suggested that perhaps such a meeting might be possible, but on his terms.
We said that we're ready for meetings at the highest level. Listen, the Ukrainian side wants this meeting and is proposing it. I said, I'm ready, please come. We will definitely provide conditions for work and security. A 100% guarantee. But if they're telling us, we want to meet you, but you go there for this meeting, it seems to me that these are simply excessive demands directed at us. I repeat once again, if anyone really wants to meet with us, we're ready. The best place for this is the capital of the Russian Federation, the heroic city of Moscow.
It's very clear. And I should go meet you somewhere. Why? Why should I? Because Bridget, Macron, Stammer, Lindsey Graham. Why? Because, Leventhal, what is that his name up there? Whatever his name is. Blumenthal. Why? He's very clear. He's not going anywhere to meet with this guy. You want to bring this guy to my, neighborhood? We'll set it up. I'll put him in my schedule. I have to tell you, if you continue to listen to any network out there that is not directly just telling you this, give me this is the next one. I'll put the next one. This is almost like it's laughable, and it's not a funny situation. Number 35.
More than 25 countries have committed to sending troops to Ukraine after a ceasefire was reached to provide reassurance to Kyiv. That's according to French President Emmanuel Macron, who made those comments yesterday while speaking alongside Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky in Paris. Officials from 26 countries met to discuss security guarantees for Ukraine. U.S. Presidential Envoy Steve Witkoff was among those in attendance. Macron says President Trump called in as well, adding that the details on what American support will look like will be finalized in the coming days. This comes as Russian President Vladimir Putin is warning against those security guarantees, saying any Western troops in Ukraine would be, quote, legitimate threats. Meanwhile, back home,
Why is Macron? Give me number 66. Putin warns Western peacekeepers in Ukraine would be legitimate targets. Targets, right? Number 67. Give me that one for 66. There you go. Targets. 67. Foreign troops in Ukraine would be legitimate targets for destruction by Russia, Putin warns, right? Right underneath that, Ukraine war latest. 26 countries pledge support for Ukraine post-war security. U.S. role to be decided in coming weeks. Our role? Now give me this one here. Number 68, Putin says no need for foreign troops in Ukraine after peace agreement. No need. We'll make peace. You come to Moscow, we make peace. We get rid of this guy, get rid of the corruption there, put a Russian-friendly government in place, no NATO, no troops. Let's move on. Number 69, Russia never turned its back on the U.S. and Putin. Whether that be Russia today and you like it or don't like it, I think it's an interesting read. We'll throw 70 in here. Kim Jong-un's his prominence at the China parade raises security concerns. He had a front row seat, right? And 71 from Sputnik, Russia will consider any troops on Ukraine soil as fair game for destruction. The BBC, number 72, the BBC, Putin rejects Western security in Ukraine, warning troops would be a target. Now, when we get that, let me give you this right here. Give me this one right here. I want to show you one thing here before we jump into. Give me number 102. Macron says the French are broke. The French are broke. The EU, the UK is broke. These people are broke. Okay? The man standing there committing 26 countries have agreed to something. His country's going up in flames. Same thing with the UK. They're talking civil war over there. You're broke. You don't have the money. You cannot fund a war. Now, let me tell you something right now. Vladimir Putin has always been clear. Like this guy, don't like this guy. He's always been clear. He's never flinched. This is not Donald Trump's problem. Vladimir Putin told you that if Trump would have been president, this would have never happened. But it did. Joe Biden allowed this to happen. Macron allowed this to happen. The little weasel, the corrupt guy from Ukraine, allowed this to happen. The Germans allowed this to happen. Ursula down at the EU in Brussels allowed this to happen. They allowed this to happen. Lindsey Graham allowed this to happen. And I have to tell you, Trump does not have a clear plan. He's letting you know. India and, Russia, they're siding with China. I mean, I'm trying here, folks. You need to understand what's really going on. Putin has been clear. There'll be no troops, no security guarantees with troops on the ground in Ukraine. Been very clear. And I will tell you this. If this guy right here is committing you and I, Americans, this Macron, all right, this little Frenchman, if he's guaranteeing this little weasel over here, Zelensky, 26 countries that are going to put boots on the ground and we're going to pay the bill, and then Vladimir Putin's going to kill him. Oh, yeah. Yeah, and then we're going to be in war with North Korea because North Korea is going to send 30,000 troops. And when North Koreans on Ukraine soil, on behalf of Russians, kill Americans or French bread over here in UK or whatever, then we're going to have a major mess. Not that we don't already have one. You can't make this up. You do not have, they don't have the money. See, China knows that. Russia knows that. India knows that. Taiwan knows that. Japan knows that. South Korea knows that. North Korea knows that. You do not have the money. Your debt load is so heavy right now. There's got to be a financial collapse all around this world. And a war like this, it's over. Not just because of the war, because you don't have the money to fund a war. You do not. All right, take a break. We're going to come back. We've got to have some time on RFK, and then we got to get into the Georgia Hour. Take a break.
Chevrolet in Jasper, we're proud because for more than 65 years, we've built a legacy of trust for the families we serve. That's why 80% of our business comes from repeat customers and referrals. When you treat folks as well as we do, word is bound to get around. Dave's Chevrolet in Jasper, family first since 1959. Together, let's drive.
Larry's Body Shop in Ellijay. Family owned and operated since 1978. The latest in cutting-edge digital technology and state-of-the-art equipment allow our iCar Gold Class certified technicians to restore your vehicle. Our second-to-none customer service will work directly with your insurance company. Major accident or minor fender bender, we take the dents out of accidents. Larry's Body Shop, North Georgia's #1 body shop. Visit us at collisiondecision.com.
Why give your money to liberal media companies? Put your marketing needs in the hands of a conservative marketing professional and start getting results today. FYN Media Group, one of the top digital marketing agencies in Georgia, specializes in website design and hosting, social media promotion and management, and so much more. Visit FYNmediagroup.com or call 706-889-3564 for a free consultation.
Welcome to El Rey Azteca Mexican Restaurant. We invite you to indulge your senses with our from-scratch authentic Mexican food. Whether you are hungry for fajitas or the El Rey Azteca burrito, we offer a wide variety of fine Mexican dishes, drinks, and desserts. Our inviting patio, indoor seating, and bar has a seat for everyone. So come to El Rey Azteca for delicious food, great drinks, good friends, and loads of fun in a casual and friendly atmosphere.
Ladies, when you wear elegant jewelry, you become a force to be reckoned with. You shine brighter than the stars in the sky, and your inner beauty radiates like the sun. So embrace the magic, embrace the elegance, and let your jewelry be a reflection of your true, authentic self. My friends over at North Georgia Diamond know what a woman wants. Go see them for the perfect gift. And remember, when it comes to elegance, there's no such thing as too much. Come see us at North Georgia Diamond. We're igniting passion one sparkle at a time.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
This is a special report. Knowing how to invest your money is harder than ever before. Dealing with stock market volatility, record debt, and terrorist attacks requires new thinking. At U.S. Asset Management, we can help you see the world more clearly so that you can move beyond the chaos and invest with confidence. Call us, visit us online, or drop by our office. U.S. Asset Management, helping you make better decisions with your money.
Mesquite Grill, now offering online ordering for your convenience. Check out our new website at mesquitegrillbr.com. That's mesquitegrillbr.com. The great food and service you have come to expect, ready for you when you arrive. Open 7 days a week with a fully stocked bar and friendly service. Bring your furry friends with you and dine on our pet-friendly patio. Also, check out our catering options and let us prepare delicious food for your next event.
The answer is no. I shall explain. I'm your host, BKP. You're watching BKP Politics on voiceofruralamerica.com. Give me number 114. Hi, Diane. Georgia hour, 10 o'clock. The answer is no. No. I do not want to take guns off the streets and away from transgender, number 6. I want to take the transgender freaks off the street. Okay? No, I don't want to ban transgender. Now, I will tell you this. If you ban transgender, doors start swinging open on the red flag laws. We're going to start, every time, what was his name? Marv Albert wore, remember they found out he was wearing women's panties. So you do not. No. That is a back door that I do not like. Banning transgenders from having a gun. No. We have it all wrong. The freaks have to go. Not the guns, the freaks. 6, 7. This was a federal employee. Now we're talking about Becerra never showed up. Becerra, HHS. This freak right here. Now, the man yesterday, you got to understand, all these people attacking that man yesterday, RFK Jr. and Dr. Oz, they never brought the freak show in. Mutilating children. This was the Health and Human Services director in the state of Pennsylvania during COVID for Wolf, Governor Wolf in Pennsylvania. The freak show is okay. You let RFK Jr. come in and say, CDC has never told you the truth. Oh, my God. But you let a man that thinks he's a woman want to mutilate your children. You got to get this clear. So the freaks, not this, number 7. This is a member of Congress. So, should Sarah McBride, which is a man, this is a man from Delaware, not be allowed to have a gun? No. This individual should not be able to be in Congress because she should, or he, or whatever it is, should be in the nut house. Give me video 19.
We will not take a lecture on decorum from a party that incited an insurrection. I appear to live rent-free in the minds of some of my Republican colleagues. I wish that they would spend even a fraction of the time that they spend thinking about me, thinking about how to lower the costs for American families. I wish they would spend a fraction of the time that they spend thinking about me, figuring out how to make government actually work better, rather than making it work worse in order to prove that government can't work. They are obsessed with culture war issues. The Republican Party is obsessed with culture war issues. It is weird and it is bizarre. And the American people deserve serious legislators, serious elected officials who are focused on bringing people together to deliver real results for the American people, not to play games and not to engage in schoolyard taunts.
You know what that should be? That should be where he dresses up and pretends to be a member of Congress at the mental hospital. What's going on over there? Oh, he just always pretends he's a member of Congress at the mental hospital. That's a man. That is a man. So give me number 114. I am not in favor of taking guns. Transgender gun ban? No, I'm not in favor of it. I'm in favor of getting the freaks out of our schools. I'm in favor of eradicating, right? Getting, a vaccine. Yesterday is what we should have been talking about. We should have been talking about 2 vaccines. Can we use the warp speed or whatever it is vaccine, get some kind of vaccine for these crazy people and get a vaccine for Trump derangement syndrome? But no, I'm not in favor of the transgender gun ban. I'm more in favor of getting the freaks off the street. All right, take that down. Now, yesterday, I want to play a little of this because here is the attacks. I watched it, and I don't want to go too far, but give me CNN video, 31.
Overhaul of the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention.
You're a charlatan. That's what you are.
You're just making stuff up. You're talking gibberish.
Mr. Secretary,
I don't know what you're talking about. Is this a question, Senator Cassidy, or is this a speech that you don't want me to answer? How can you be that ignorant?
Senator Cantwell.
You're wrong.
You are a hazard to the health of the American people.
As Kennedy calls for, quote, new blood at the CDC, a source tells CNN that he is preparing to appoint as many as 7 new members to an influential vaccine advisory panel.
He's a hazard. Give me MSNBC video 30.
Him a hazard and a charlatan and said that he should resign.
Would you accept the fact that 1 million Americans died from COVID?
I don't know how many died.
The Secretary of Health and Human Services doesn't know matter how many Americans died from COVID. Doesn't know if the vaccine helped prevent any deaths. And you are sitting as Secretary of Health and Human Services? How can you be that ignorant?
You are citing data that you won't produce to the public,
You're just
and you
making
are rejecting
You're
science.
making things up to scare people, and it's a lie.
With respect, I do not think I'm the one making these.
You are
Thank you,
lying
Mr. Chair.
right now, Senator.
I'm asking the questions.
I
Mr.
asked you a question.
I'm asking the questions for Mr. Kennedy on behalf of parents and schools and teachers all over the United States of America who deserve so much better than your leadership. That's what this conversation is about, Mr. Chairman.
Senator, they deserve the truth, and that's what we're going to give them for the first time in the history of that agency.
Several Republicans, including 2 physicians who voted to confirm Kennedy, were among those who raised concerns, sharply questioning the secretary.
I don't see how you go over 4 weeks from a public health expert with unimpeachable scientific credentials, a longtime champion of my.
All right. I got to have some time to get some facts in here. The Democrats and even several Republicans pushed RFK Jr. yesterday on behalf of the pharmaceutical industry, on behalf of the insurance industry. They're very dangerous. They're powerful. All right. And they did this on behalf. Give me Roy Cooper. I want to show you, this was the governor. Okay. The man who thinks he's a woman, assistant HHS secretary, who locked people in a nursing home in the state of Pennsylvania. Now, the governor, remember the power these people had. Video 18. North Carolina.
It's irresponsible to say we're going to fill up our classrooms now with no safety measures and with no masks. The science is clear on masks. They work to slow the spread of the virus. Dr. Redfield, the CDC director in Congress, in his testimony said it is the most effective weapon that we have when he held it up. Dr. Birx, Dr. Fauci, other members of the White House Coronavirus Task Force talk about how important it is for people to wear masks. And when elected leaders and people in important policy positions discourage the use of masks, then that becomes part of the problem, because what you do is increase community spread when fewer people wear masks, particularly at larger gatherings, and therefore you make it harder for us to get our children safely in school. You make it harder for us to be able to ease restrictions and to get our economy going full speed again, and you make it harder to slow the spread of the virus.
CDC, the mask, stand 6 feet apart. Now, I don't have time, because we've got the Georgia hour coming up. I don't have time to go into that. But that was the governor of North Carolina. He is now running for Senate in North Carolina against Michael Whatley, former RNC chair in North Carolina. That was the governor, Roy Cooper. Remember that? Okay. They put him on our children. Now, this is some of Kennedy's opening statement, because with all the attacks, I think you need to hear this. Video 2.
We are ending gain-of-function research, child mutilation, and reducing animal testing. We are addressing cell phone use in schools, excessive screen time for youth,
the lack of nutrition education in our medical schools, sickle cell anemia, hepatitis C, the East Palestine chemical spill, and many, many others. At FDA, we are now on track to approve more drugs this year than at any time in history. I'm also proud to say that HHS under President Trump is doing more with less. We have taken measures to fight waste, fraud, and abuse. Just by eliminating duplicative enrollments in CMS, we are saving taxpayers $14 billion a year. Meanwhile, we are expanding access for people who need it. We are ending racist diversity, equity, and inclusion practices and instead focusing on aiding low-income and vulnerable families, regardless of their race, which was the original intent of Title X. We're also pouring $1 billion into Head Start and the Administration for Children and Families. Compassion need not be the casualty of efficiency. I'd like to highlight some issues that have not gotten media attention. First, we are doing our part to fulfill the President's commitment to stop human trafficking, especially of children. We inherited a terrible humanitarian crisis from the previous administration with its open border policies, which allowed the appalling loss of 476,000 unaccompanied children. We have implemented policies now to ensure that that appalling tragedy can never happen again. We have knocked on 82,000 doors and located 22,000 of those children. I promise you that we will do more in the next 3 years. We are also addressing the disastrous health conditions in tribal communities on Native American reservations. I've met face-to-face with tribal leaders in dozens of communities and tribes in Alaska, Arizona, Idaho, New Mexico, and elsewhere. And I look forward to making HHS resources more available to those communities. One of the most significant initiatives under President Trump is the Rural Health
All of a sudden, they care. All of a sudden, they want to make sure every child in America, when born, gets a hepatitis B vaccination shot. All of a sudden, can you get a COVID shot? Elizabeth Warren yelling at him. Can you get a COVID shot? You're a charlatan. Anything and everything goes. Come across the border. 500,000 kids missing. And this is what they're concerned about? Now, give me video 15. I'm going to be limited in my time. Video 15.
You
Are you
describe
saying,
people
Senator,
moving the Titanic?
Senator, are you saying that the mRNA vaccine has never been associated with myocarditis or pericarditis in teenagers? Is that what you're trying to tell us?
I am simply trying to say that the people that you have put on that panel, after firing the entire...
You're evading the question.
No, I'm asking the questions here,
You're
Mr.
evading
Kennedy.
that question.
I'm asking the questions,
I
Mr.
asked you a
Kennedy.
question.
I'm asking the questions for Mr. Kennedy on behalf of parents and schools and teachers all over the United States of America who deserve so much better than your leadership. That's what this conversation is about, Mr. Chairman.
Senator, they deserve the truth, and that's what we're going to give them for the first time in the history of that agency.
The soundbite, right? Myocarditis and pericarditis. We don't know how many people died from COVID. We don't know how many people exactly, the studies are going on now, that died from this shot. Thank God I did not take this shot. Now, I want to get two more. Elizabeth Warren. I like this one, video 6.
You are effectively denying people vaccines.
We're not going to recommend a product for which there's no clinical data for that indication. Is that what I should be doing?
What you should be doing is honoring your promise that you made when you were looking to get confirmed in this job.
You're going like this.
And that is, you promised that you would not take away vaccines from anyone who wanted them. You just changed the classification of the COVID vaccine.
I'm not taking them away from people, Senator.
It takes it away if you can't get it from your pharmacist.
Well, most Americans are going to be able to get it from their pharmacy for free. Most Americans will be able to get it from their pharmacy for free.
The question is, everyone who wants it, that was your promise.
No, I didn't. I never promised that I was going to recommend products with which there is no indication.
When you said...
And I know you've taken $855,000 from pharmaceutical companies, Senator.
Did you hold up a big sign saying that you were lying when you said that? Because you are the one who said you would not take them away. Now, Senator Kennedy,
I'm not taking them away from anybody.
Secretary,
you want me to indicate a product for which there is no clinical data?
Senator,
is that what you want?
Secretary Kennedy, you said you wouldn't, and now you did.
I'm not taking them away. Everybody can get access to them.
No, they can't walk into a pharmacy the way they could last month and get access.
It depends on the states.
Give me number 82. She is absolutely determined for the pharmaceutical industry to get that COVID vaccine for babies 6 months and older, right? $1.222 million from pharmaceutical and health product industries. Yes, she didn't like that. Now, why have you been sitting there? I got two more. Video 5.
About anything you've done or plans to change it. And my last comment is, I hope that you will tell the American people how many preventable child deaths are an acceptable sacrifice for enacting an agenda that I think is fundamentally cruel and defies common sense. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Do I got a reply? Senator, you've sat in that chair for how long? 20, 25 years, while the chronic disease in our children went up to 76%. And you said nothing. You never asked the question why it's happening. Why is this happening? Today, for the first time in 20 years, we learned that infant mortality has increased in our country. It's not because I came in here. It's because of what happened during the Biden administration that we're going to end.
I'm going to let Senator Wyden respond briefly to that, and then we're not going to go.
All of a sudden you care, 2025. You hear about Kennedy. You hear about Barrasso. You hear their doctors. This is what you don't hear. Give me video. Let me see which one I have here. Video 9.
Welcome, Mr. Secretary. One of your themes for the CDC is transparency. And I think when I hear you talk about transparency, I think part of that is sharing what you know, what the CDC knows with parents so that they can make decisions. Behind me, I know it's going to be hard to see from there. I can barely read it. This is the current CDC recommendations for vaccines for children. On day number 1, they get their first jab, a hepatitis vaccine. By the time they're 18 months, they've had 18 jabs. By the time they get to be able to vote, they have 76 jabs. Now, when I listen, what I hear you say is that, look, vaccines are drugs. We need a measured response and a measured, when do we use this? It's interesting that the United States has put age 65 and older for COVID vaccine. UK has chosen 75 and France 80. Obviously, scientists disagree exactly when that should or shouldn't be. Hepatitis B vaccine, it makes no sense to me. I've only delivered 5,000 babies, but we do a hepatitis test on every mom. By the time she delivers that baby, I know her pretty well. And if she doesn't have any risk factors, if she's not an IV drug abuser, if she's in a stable monogamous relationship, nobody at home has hepatitis, I don't know, I don't see the benefit myself in that hepatitis vaccine. Everyone's eligible for it, everyone can get it, and my pediatricians don't always agree with me. And no, I'm not saying if you don't know the hepatitis status of that patient, they shouldn't get it. I'm not saying if this person's had no prenatal care, that puts them at risk for hepatitis. Can you just speak a little bit, when you talk about transparency, and trying to empower and make vaccines available, these should be treated just like a medication.
5,000 babies delivered. He's a doctor. Why do they not show his videos from yesterday? All right, folks, in 10 minutes at 10 o'clock, the Georgia Hour, the final one for the week. It's a big one. Don't miss it. 10 minutes. See you then.
Chevrolet in Jasper, we're proud because for more than 65 years, we've built a legacy of trust for the families we serve. That's why 80% of our business comes from repeat customers and referrals. When you treat folks as well as we do, word is bound to get around. Days Chevrolet in Jasper, family first since 1959. Together, let's drive.
Larry's Body Shop in Ellijay. Family owned and operated since 1978. The latest in cutting-edge digital technology and state-of-the-art equipment allow our iCard Gold Class certified technicians to restore your vehicle. Our second-to-none customer service will work directly with your insurance company. Major accident or minor fender bender, we take the dents out of accidents. Larry's Body Shop, North Georgia's #1 body shop. Visit us at collisiondecision.com.
Why give your money to liberal media companies? Put your marketing needs in the hands of a conservative marketing professional and start getting results today. FYN Media Group, one of the top digital marketing agencies in Georgia, specializes in website design and hosting, social media promotion and management, and so much more. Visit FYNmediagroup.com or call 706-889-3564 for a free consultation.
Welcome to El Rey Azteca Mexican Restaurant. We invite you to indulge your senses with our from-scratch authentic Mexican food. Whether you are hungry for fajitas or the El Rey Azteca burrito, we offer a wide variety of fine Mexican dishes, drinks, and desserts. Our inviting patio, indoor seating, and bar has a seat for everyone. So come to El Rey Azteca for delicious food, great drinks, good friends, and loads of fun in a casual and friendly atmosphere.
Ladies, when you wear elegant jewelry, you become a force to be reckoned with. You shine brighter than the stars in the sky, and your inner beauty radiates like the sun. So embrace the magic, embrace the elegance, and let your jewelry be a reflection of your true, authentic self. My friends over at North Georgia Diamond know what a woman wants. Go see them for the perfect gift. And remember, when it comes to elegance, there's no such thing as too much. Come see us at North Georgia Diamond. We're igniting passion one sparkle at a time.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
This is a special report.
Knowing how to invest your money is harder than ever before. Dealing with stock market volatility, record debt, and terrorist attacks requires new thinking. At U.S. Asset Management, we can help you see the world more clearly so that you can move beyond the chaos and invest with confidence. Call us, visit us online, or drop by our office. U.S. Asset Management, helping you make better decisions with your money.
Mesquite Grill, now offering online ordering for your convenience. Check out our new website at mesquitegrillbr.com. That's mesquitegrillbr.com. The great food and service you have come to expect, ready for you when you arrive. Open 7 days a week with a fully stocked bar and friendly service. Bring your furry friends with you and dine on our pet-friendly patio. Also, check out our catering options and let us prepare delicious food for your next event.
At Days Chevrolet in Jasper, we're proud because for more than 65 years, we've built a legacy of trust for the families we serve. That's why 80% of our business comes from repeat customers and referrals. When you treat folks as well as we do, word is bound to get around. Days Chevrolet in Jasper, family first since 1959. Together, let's drive.
Larry's Body Shop in Ellijay. Family owned and operated since 1978. The latest in cutting-edge digital technology and state-of-the-art equipment allow our iCard Gold Class certified technicians to restore your vehicle. Our second-to-none customer service will work directly with your insurance company. Major accident or minor fender bender, we take the dents out of accidents. Larry's Body Shop, North Georgia's #1 body shop. Visit us at collisiondecision.com.
Why give your money to liberal media companies? Put your marketing needs in the hands of a conservative marketing professional and start getting results today. FYN Media Group, one of the top digital marketing agencies in Georgia, specializes in website design and hosting, social media promotion and management, and so much more. Visit FYNmediagroup.com or call 706-889-3564 for a free consultation.
Welcome to El Rey Azteca Mexican Restaurant. We invite you to indulge your senses with our from-scratch authentic Mexican food. Whether you are hungry for fajitas or the El Rey Azteca burrito, we offer a wide variety of fine Mexican dishes, drinks, and desserts. Our inviting patio, indoor seating, and bar has a seat for everyone. So come to El Rey Azteca for delicious food, great drinks, good friends, and loads of fun in a casual and friendly atmosphere.
Ladies, when you wear elegant jewelry, you become a force to be reckoned with. You shine brighter than the stars in the sky, and your inner beauty radiates like the sun. So embrace the magic, embrace the elegance, and let your jewelry be a reflection of your true, authentic self. My friends over at North Georgia Diamond know what a woman wants. Go see them for the perfect gift. And remember, when it comes to elegance, there's no such thing as too much. Come see us at North Georgia Diamond. We're igniting passion one sparkle at a time.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
This is a special report.
Knowing how to invest your money is harder than ever before. Dealing with stock market volatility, record debt, and terrorist attacks requires new thinking. At U.S. Asset Management, we can help you see the world more clearly so that you can move beyond the chaos and invest with confidence. Call us, visit us online, or drop by our office. U.S. Asset Management, helping you make better decisions with your money.
Good morning. It is 9/5/2025, September 5th, 2025, going to be a beautiful day. Going to be a nice warm weekend. Closing in on the end of September could be a little cool. I'm your host, BKP. It's Friday. You're watching the Georgia Hour. On voiceofruralamerica.com every day at 10 o'clock. You can go to Rumble and find the Georgia Hour every day. You can find all of our segments. So a little programming note here. Earlier this morning at 8 a.m. and 8:30, I talked a lot about Georgia. So it's a little bonus on the Georgia Hour, but there's some national things that are going on. There's some things going on in Georgia that have national interest. And one was MTG, and give me number 74. So I did a segment this morning that you can find on Rumble that will be named Diane. Well, I don't know what kind of name she's going to put on there, but it's a segment where I actually close the door, tell you what's going on with MTG, and where things stand there, Marjorie Taylor Greene. And then also yesterday, I told the story this morning. I will make it brief. Take that down. So yesterday, I get a message that this guy right here, and we broke this story. We broke this story yesterday. We actually broke the story. Even the AJC said, wow, you guys broke the story. Politico, everybody that wrote this story yesterday started hearing about it, and the grifters online that did not give us credit for breaking the story. But Gabriel Sterling. Now, you remember a couple weeks ago, Diane, I did not tell you to look anything up. I just asked you yesterday if you remember a couple weeks ago. You remember a couple weeks ago, there was some discussion. It was going around the internet that Gabe Sterling, number 77, that works at the Secretary of State's office, and people were cheering that he left, he resigned. And even one of the top state grifters out there with extra white teeth was going around, oh, it's a great day in Georgia, Gabe Sterling's resigned. And I told everybody then, I said, look, he has to resign. Now, constitutional officers do not have to resign to run for their seat. So when you say, well, why did Gabriel Sterling resign from the Secretary of State's office? He's an employee. So he had to resign. If you're an employee of an agency, a state agency, or anything that you're getting a paycheck from the state, as an employee, you have to resign to run for office. So he had to resign from the Secretary of State's office. And that was a couple weeks ago. I told people on this program he was preparing to run for Secretary of State. Well, that happened yesterday. And I'll make it brief. I covered it in great detail. I got a message yesterday, and I got this message right here, number 83, that he had filed there you go, declaration of intention to accept campaign contributions. And that's Gabriel Sterling. And he had filed that. And look, the verification is Ryan Germany. Ryan Germany. Who is Ryan Germany? We'll get into that in a minute. Quite interesting. We're talking a lot about Fulton County. And so I get this message yesterday, and I was like, okay, let me Google it. And I Googled it everywhere, and I looked up on X, and it wasn't out there. And I was like, well, wait a minute. This is not anywhere. This is not on the AJC. Greg Bluestein didn't tweet it out. It's not on social media anywhere. So I went back and I looked, and I said, well, it came from a trusted source, because I had to go back. I look and say, all right, the source I received this from, it's a trusted source. So I'm going to go with it. And I tweeted it out, and it was true. My trusted source, Diane. Diane broke that story yesterday. So here's his declaration of intention right there. And give me number 84. Here you go. Now, 84, right? Secretary of State. The chairperson is Phil Graves. You have a phone number there. And this is all public information, so nothing is blacked out. You can get this public information. But treasurer, you see the treasurer is Ryan Germany on number 84. You can see that. Who's the treasurer? It's Ryan Germany, and they are ready to go. Now, this is the same Gabriel Sterling. Well, you know the same Gabriel Sterling. Give me video 20.
So we have to live in this environment where also our critics have this Aristotelian perfect vision of what a voting system is like. We have to live in a place where it's the real world with real people. And one of the things I talk about in large counties, I'll use my normal language for this. If you have 10 people, one person might be a dumbass, okay? That's in general. I'm giving some generous on that. But if you have 1,000 people, it means you probably got about 100 dumbasses. And you have to find systems to work around them.
Now, wait a minute. If you have 10 people, you have one dumbass. So next time you get 10 people in the room, you got to look around and say, who's the dumbass here? But then, if you have 1,000 people or whatever, you could have 100 dumbasses. I mean, next thing you know, give me number 91. Next thing you know, you have 100 dumbasses. So, for those dumbasses out there, I just want to say, Gabriel Sterling, who has been one of Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger's most loyal deputies, just launched a bid to replace his former boss. I just want to be clear on this. I want to remind you that this guy was the Dominion implementation manager for the state of Georgia. Now, he worked for the Secretary of State of Georgia. These are facts. I want you to just hear this point blank. This guy was an employee of the Secretary of State's office. Now, he was in on the meetings. Brad Raffensperger said he did not get involved with the meetings to pick Dominion. So I'm going to get pushback here. Somebody's going to tell me I'm wrong. But here's what happens is the Secretary of State's office, this is what he's running for. And remember this for anyone that's running for Secretary of State in the state of Georgia, was tasked with finding a new voting system. All right. Time to get rid of die-bolt voting equipment, a new voting system. So a team comprised of Gabriel Sterling, right? Ryan Germany, Jordan Fuchs, and others, a team. I don't know how many meetings each one was in. They reviewed all the voting systems out there, all the options. Now, Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger said he did not get involved with this team because he would be on the ballot. I don't remember his exact quote. So the Secretary of State did not pick, according to him, the voting system in Georgia. This team did. And what this team did is they got a quote and they took it for approval to the Georgia State House and Senate and the governor. Now, what you will hear, because no one wants to admit they made the purchase of the Dominion voting machines in Georgia. No one wants to admit. Now, what they want to tell you is that state agencies have a budget and state agencies can put in for certain software. They can put in their budget for certain things. And it was the Secretary of State's place to find a new voting system in Georgia and submit the amount so it could be voted on and put in the budget to purchase. That's what you're going to hear. So, Secretary of State's office recommends a Dominion voting system. Now, I know what's going to happen. I'm going to start hearing, well, this lawmaker and this lobbyist, and we know who some of the lobbyists are. We won't go in there and waste the time. We got a lot of other things to do today, and for sure we're going to be talking about Secretary of State's office and race here in the near future. But so this team purchases. The guy on the screen was part of the purchasing team, the vetting team of Dominion. Now, Dominion had never implemented as large of a project anywhere in the United States as Georgia. There was no project ever put in place of Dominion voting system like Georgia. Now, Georgia, we say, our Secretary of State says, we have to have a unified system. Not every state does that. Pennsylvania does not do that. They do not do that. They're given choices. Your board of elections in your counties in Pennsylvania are given choices from the state, but not in Georgia. In Georgia, every single county has to have a unified system. Now, my opinion on that, and my opinion clearly, that's so they don't have to manipulate something 6-7 different ways to steal it. They can alter things all across the state when necessary. That's clearly my opinion when they choose to steal an election. That's just my opinion, okay? So they don't have to look up these counties and say, oh, they're using this. But if everybody's on the same playing field, it's easier for them to work with. Again, for the 90th time, my opinion. So keep in mind. So Dominion says to Georgia, and I can't wait for the pushback because this is true and I'm going to get it. Dominion says to Georgia, we appreciate the purchase. Yes, we do want the millions, but we've never put a project like this in place. So before we can commit, we have to find an implementation manager. And I don't know if it can be done in this amount of time. We've never tried it. These are all facts. Facts and figures. So they come back to the state of Georgia and say, well, we're really not comfortable and we haven't been successful with finding someone. And this guy raises his hand. It says, I can do it. Well, wait a minute. You can't be an employee of the Secretary of State's office and be the Dominion subcontractor to implement the system all across the state. And do you really think you can do this? I can handle it. Well, how's this going to work? Well, here's what's going to happen. I'm going to keep my office. Now, check this, okay? Because if I was a candidate running against him right now, if I was, and you know who you are out there, I would check and see if he used his government-issued cell phone from the Secretary of State's office. If he used his parking space at the Secretary of State's office. If he used the phone in the office of when he was an employee at the Secretary of State's office, if he used the same computer at the Secretary of State's office, I would check and see what changed. If he truly went out, okay, and became a subcontractor and worked from home. Now, he did travel around the state, all right? But when he was in the office, did he have his office chair, his office phone? Was he drinking the coffee from down the hall? Anyhow, so this guy raises his hand. He becomes the Dominion election software machine implementation manager for the state of Georgia, the entire state. He is now a subcontractor. Yes, and that's where he has that LLC. That Gabriel Sterling, whatever LLC, he's had that for years. And in my opinion, so they don't attack me or sue me, he's had that for years. So, you know, when money has to get dumped in there for something else that maybe doesn't pertain to the Secretary of State's office, he's got a place to receive a check. Just write the check to Sterling LLC. Just saying. So Dominion pays him direct. That's why you don't have, and I don't have, any copies, and if you do, send them to me, of what Dominion paid him. We don't know. We do not know what Dominion paid Gabriel Sterling. We do not have documents. We do not have receipts. We cannot do the open records. Now, we could do an open records and get the checks paid from the state of Georgia to Dominion for the system. But we can't get Dominion's checks to Gabriel Sterling. So we're not for sure, right? We don't really know what he made from Dominion, from you and I, the taxpayers, as a subcontractor, hopefully not enjoying any benefits from Georgia. I wonder if the time he was an implementation manager, if his medical insurance continued. I just wonder. I wonder if he continued to get his state-funded medical insurance. Or I wonder when he came back from being an implementation manager, if he went through like new hire process, or were they able to put him on hiatus, or did he have to redo his insurance paperwork to get on insurance? I just wonder all of that, if everything there was on the up and up. And I'm for sure it's all on the up and up, right? I mean, it's Georgia. What else? So anyhow, moving right along with this fine young man here, Gabriel. I don't know. I may be one of the dumbasses. Diane, you can't have that. I know you're begging for it. I see your hand up, but I want to be the Gabriel Sterling dumbass of the day. I want that. It's great going into the weekend. Now, so that being said, subcontractor, he puts all the Dominion software and machines in place across the state. He's the implementation manager. We have the 2020 election, right? He is the one that stands before the seal of Georgia. Remember that? Remember right after the 2020 election, we were running to the TV, even nationally. What's the update? What's the update? Right? This guy, not Brad Raffensperger, the Secretary of State, this guy was giving us the updates. Remember that? You can go back and get that video. He was giving us the updates. While giving us the updates, he's a subcontractor. He's not an employee of the Secretary of State's office. He's telling you and I, as a Dominion subcontractor, what's going on. Now, I thought every time I ran to the TV after 2020 and Gabriel Sterling came out for an update, I thought the Secretary of State's office was giving us an update. But no, Gabriel Sterling from his LLC in front of the Georgia State Seal was giving us an update. Now, so since then, right? And I'm going to fast forward because it's 10:20 and I've got two more Georgia stories we got to work on today going into the weekend. But since then, he went back into the Secretary of State's office, chief operating officer there, running the show for Brad Raffensperger, back in there, driving the ship. All things going through his office, basically running the place. So I just want to put this out. Ryan Germany, his treasurer, his pal. Remember, Ryan Germany, Diane, I'm going to want this. I'm not going to be able to do all of it. But I want two more stories today. So I do want this one right here. I'll give it to you right now. I'm going to want 125. All right. Ryan Germany, go ahead and put up 125. You see Gabe Sterling, Kelvin King, and Tim Fleming. So back to you. Ryan Germany, remember, Fulton County election monitor, right? Now, the Board of Elections, the State Board of Elections, go listen to Dr. Janice Johnston. Go listen, I'm not quoting, right? Go listen to her talk about a backroom deal. Now, they wanted in the 2024 presidential election a Fulton County election monitor, right? And it had to be approved by Fulton County, Brad Raffensperger, Secretary of State, and the State Board of Elections. But Ryan Germany goes out and makes a presentation to Fulton County. Remember this? Fulton County hires him. Fulton County hired Ryan Germany. The Secretary of State's office backed the hiring of Ryan Germany. And they told the state election board, and that's when Dr. Janice Johnson, go look it up. Don't trust me on this. I ask you all the time, go look it up. Dr. Janice Johnson said a backroom deal was cut. So Ryan Germany was the Fulton County monitor. Now, who knows Fulton County very well on the election side? Not Jason Frazier, because he can't get on the election Board of Elections in Fulton County. But Ryan Germany, Gabriel Sterling's buddy, he knows Fulton County pretty well. And Fulton County kind of likes Ryan Germany. And Fulton County kind of likes Gabriel Sterling. That being said, now, before we go, give me video 28.
morning, the man who warned President Trump in 2020 to tone down his stolen election rhetoric is running for Georgia's Secretary of State. Gabe Sterling has now filed to receive campaign donations. He left his post last month as chief operating officer for the Secretary's office. Sterling is a Republican, and his old boss, Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger, still holds that office, but has been widely rumored to be considering a run for Georgia governor or U.S. senator in 2026. Sterling will have at least two Republican challengers, former U.S. Senate candidate Kelvin King and state rep Tim Fleming have both launched bids for that position so far. No prominent Democrats have declared.
Remember, Gabe told Donald Trump, tone it down, tone it down. So here's the three candidates. Let me give you these three candidates just for a minute to go into the weekend as we start reviewing candidates. Secretary of State's office, this will probably be, and I told someone yesterday, this race should not, it's very important, and I'm not making light of it, but it should not take the oxygen out of the room, and I'm afraid the Secretary of State's race will take the oxygen away from maybe some other races that we need to be paying attention to. That being said, Gabriel Sterling told Donald Trump to tone it down, but we are on Brad Raffensperger watch. So where's my coin? I want to flip it, because when Brad Raffensperger announces he's running for governor as a Republican, yes, get ready. Now, Kelvin King. Kelvin King ran for Senate. He's a nice guy. I met Kelvin King several times. I do not want to say anything other than maybe I haven't had the opportunity, but I have reached out to him and his wife, Janelle, and they've not returned any text messages. So, but they're busy and they're getting started up, and that's not a comment. That's not a negative comment for people that start saying something, but I'm expecting hopefully to talk to him soon. He ran for Senate. I met him when he ran for U.S. Senate. I went to their campaign headquarters. I went to a lot of their events. They know that. And I've known them for quite some time. But keep in mind, him as a candidate, his wife, Janelle King, is on the state election board. And I don't want to say controversy, but she has been very outspoken. A lot of videos going around of her strong opinions, Janelle, and I know that. And I like Janelle's opinions. So there's things that we'll have to discuss down the road with candidate Kelvin King concerning Secretary of State race. Like, you got to remember, the next Secretary of State coming in, don't forget, check me on this. It was, who was the Secretary of State, the last Democrat Secretary of State? What was her name? She is the one that purchased and made the deal on the Diebold voting machines. All right. And I forget her name, but you know who I'm talking about. The last Democrat Secretary of State. And Brian Kemp implemented them. No. Karen Handel. Karen Handel became Secretary of State and implemented them. So we got to be careful here. We have a new election system going to be put in place. Who's going to implement it? Now, that being said, I just want to remind you on the Tim Fleming, who's running for Secretary of State. He is chairing right here, 28. I want to get past this very quickly because I've got to get to a race that's going on. Thank you. I know you're getting ready to give me the name because I'm drawing a blank. Kathy Cox, right? Let me see if I'm correct. Kathy Cox, thank you. Yes. So don't forget, Kathy Cox was Secretary of State, purchased the die-bolt voting machines, and Karen Handel implemented them. Now, let's get to Tim Fleming and Victor Anderson. Tim Fleming's a nice guy. Former Brian Kemp Chief of Staff. Fired? Don't know. You check it out. Was he fired? Is he still Brian Kemp friendly? But now keep in mind, he is former Brian Kemp Chief of Staff. Now, and you got to look this up for me. You remember when we had the little problem up there at Kennesaw State, Brian Kemp? Remember that? Remember we had a little problem up there at Kennesaw State? Lord, I've only got 30 minutes, so I can't get stuck on that. Remember that? Did Tim Fleming get thrown under the bus for it? So just keep in mind, Tim Fleming's running for Secretary of State, and he was, at one time, Brian Kemp's Chief of Staff. He is the chair. Now, the House, the Georgia State House, you can't make any of this up, with John Burns, I dislike, I highly, was that 3 or 4? Whatever, I'll go to the fourth power, dislike John Burns. I really do. But remember, Tim Fleming comes out, announces my state rep endorsed him, Tim Fleming. I think it was 79. So he comes out and John Burns comes out and they're all excited because 79 Georgia State House members have endorsed him for Secretary of State. I sent my state house rep a message and said, when did we as a district tell you we wanted you to endorse Tim Fleming? And my state rep come back and said, well, I don't remember us doing that. And I said, that's right. We didn't do that. As our representative, could you please kindly check with the district before you jump in and endorse someone? But it happens all the time. But remember, Tim Fleming has like 79, and this panel was set up for Tim Fleming. I'm going to get pushback on that, but let me just tell you something. John Burns, this is a House panel, right? This is a House panel. This is the blue ribbon panel. This is why you watch this show. I have no fear of the attacks that are coming this way. But this is State Rep Victor Anderson and Tim Fleming, and they are talking about replacing touchscreens in some polling places this fall with hand-marked paper ballots. This is that blue ribbon panel, right? That's stirring a lot of emotion that John Burns set up. And this is really what this is. Let me tell you exactly what this is. Lord, I hope I make it till Monday. I really do, because they can't stand when I expose them. What this is this is Tim Fleming, because the base, AKA also known as dumbasses to Gabriel Sterling. The base, right? I can go anywhere and I can get you the base, and they'll talk about getting rid of the machines, paper ballots, Donald Trump. I agree with him 100%. Rah, 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 right? The base. So, what does this do? If you go to one of these blue ribbon panel meetings, and I support you going, I'm behind you 100% if you go. But if you go to one and you look around the room, for large in part, it's the base. And then you get people like Brad Carver, all right, for the Georgia Republican Party, Inc. They get up there and pretend like they're doing the right thing, with election integrity. But if you notice, in the room is the base. So this guy has gone to North Georgia. This guy's go here. Everywhere he goes, and they set these up, these meetings, he is introduced to the base. If you did not know Tim Fleming 2 months ago, you know him now because you pay attention. So John Burns sets up this road show for everybody to come see Tim Fleming as the chair. Now, I'm not anti-Tim Fleming. I'm not attacking him. If I get a chance one-on-one to talk to him, he may convince me of something. You never know. But I'm just telling you what's out there. So he's the chair. Now, what do? They tell you, give me number 29. And they send a letter, right? They send a letter on August 28th. The Honorable Brad Raffensperger, Secretary of State, we write to encourage you to immediately consider a voluntary test program. Paper ballots, right? And then give me number 30, and it's signed by Tim Fleming and Victor E. Anderson. Now, what Tim Fleming can now do is go around the state and campaign that I tried to get paper ballots. Now, they knew the answer when they did this. I like Victor Anderson. He's a nice guy. All right. I've talked to him about some of his votes in the past, and he's changed some of them. Maybe not just because I talked to him, but he's a nice guy. I keep saying that. Some of these people are nice people, but they're still politicians. Whew, right? Anyhow, so Tim Fleming can now go around the state and tell you, I sent a letter. It's out there. I sent a letter. I want paper ballots. So you get the rah, rah, rah. You get the pom-pom team out. I heard this on social media. Paper ballots. Okay, let's see what happens. Oh, by the way, the letter went to Brad Raffensperger. By the way, guess what happened? Brad said no. What do you mean Brad said no? I'm just telling you. Brad said no. Where do you get that from? Give me number 90. Right? So this happens, and what do we have? We got some Democrats. We'll take the paper ballots with you. We'll get on board. They want those tabulators, okay? But we'll get on board. We got some Democrats. Everybody fired up. The last paragraph said, but Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger opposes the idea for a test run during November's Public Service Commission election. His office said that the state law requires a uniform voting system. So he's telling you all 159 counties have to vote the same way. Now, I can already hear it. Got my big ears on. Got my David Clark ears on. That'd be my David Clark ears. I got them. I can hear you. Yes, but OCGG and OCGG and OCGG, they're breaking the law here. They're breaking the law here. And when they break the law because Dominion, just the machines are illegal because they're not certified, I get all that. I'm with you. You know that. You know me, right? Are you down with BKP? You know me, right? So I'm with you on all that. You know it. But I'm hearing that. That makes us legally be able to use paper ballots for an emergency because our machines are not certified. With you 100%. But they don't give a SHI asterisk. Quit getting up in the damn morning and thinking they give an SHI asterisk. Remember, Gabe said, you damn dumbasses out there he has to deal with. So Raffensperger's already said no to this. Got it? So we got no, we got Tim Fleming, we got Kelvin King, and we've got Gabriel Sterling. So we will be breaking this one down. And I'm going to tell you, we want solid answers out there. All right, we're not picking. 125. Let me say this. I can't even go on the weekend without getting my ass in trouble. Right now, we have Kelvin King and Tim Fleming to pick from, and we have to get them serious, get them on the record, and ask them the hard questions. Gabriel Sterling, this is one dumbass that will not be giving you the time of day, and this is one dumbass that will not be voting for you. And I legally vote, Gabriel. Anyhow, take that down. All right, so now let's flip over here. I said this yesterday, and we've got to. Remember, number one, we'll just throw this out for the weekend, right? This is Jason Frazier and Julie Adams. Julie Adams, she currently is on the Fulton County Board of Elections, right? And Jason Frazier, he is not. I tell you, I love the guy. I actually do. I really do. He's a great person. His wife, they're both brilliant people. They really are. Jason, I mean, I don't know. I'm not going to say it on air, Jason, but she's pretty smart, Jason. Oh, I love both of them. They're great people. They really are, I have to say. But let me show you Fulton County. And I said this yesterday. Go look at the segment yesterday because I was very clear on why this is so important to Fulton County. I know some of you gave me some messages. It's not you disagree, but you're looking at it a little different. This is the Board of Elections, video 16. This is Jason Frazier challenging some voter registration. Give me video 16, Diane.
While they're looking at that, can I make a quick suggestion? Possibly even when she sends out that letter, if people are homeless, I know there are a lot of people registered at homeless shelters. May I recommend that you put some verbiage in there that if you're homeless, maybe give them a list of where they can register? Because I don't want homeless people not to be able to vote. I just want to make sure people are in the right precinct, especially in local elections. You might be voting for the wrong mayor, city council, because your P.O. box is here and you live over there. So there's a lot of reasons, not to mention it makes it difficult to find people to move out of state if they live in a P.O. box because they're not selling their P.O. box to move to Florida.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
But you'd also have to let them know, don't put them in Atlanta Mission, and their name and Atlanta Mission and an address, because it's still a commercial business. It's just a nonprofit business.
That was, I mean, boy, that was just a stinger, right? I mean, Jason went up there. It was just a stinger, an attack. I mean, did he say that he wants homeless people to get the opportunity to vote? Did he give a very reasonable solution to help them? Because he wants them to vote? But what he doesn't want is he doesn't want homeless registered to mailboxes that vote, that they vote for the wrong mayor, they vote for the wrong city council member. That's what he wants to do. That is the guy I know right there. That's the guy I know. That's the guy. That's how he handles things. He's not aggressive. He's not in your face. I mean, there's multiple examples. The guy should be on the Fulton County Board of Registration and Elections for the Republican Party of Fulton County, but we'll get into that next week. Now, this is number 2. We have a qualified candidates. We have District 2 and District 3. This is our Public Service Commission. Now, I just want to put something out here. It's not that it's early. This is around the corner. Early voting is going to be September, October, November. You're going to blink and they're going to be like, oh, it's early voting. Now, this will fall in November when municipal elections, do you understand? Democrats are licking their chops. Licking them. I promise I'll never do that again. Well, maybe later down the road. They're licking their chops over this. You know why? Is it going to be, are they vote? Check me out. Give me some, could you help me out here? Our Atlanta City Council, is that up for election? Municipal? Is Sandy Springs mayor, is that up for, is there municipal elections all across the state? Meaning mayors and city council members, for the most part, all across the state? I know right up here in Blue Ridge. There's the Blue Ridge right up the road. There's the mayor and all the city council. I just wondering. They are going to come out and vote. Democrats are going to come out and vote. Now, my concern is rural Georgia will not show up. That's my biggest concern on this PSC race. There's a couple. You see, I only have this race to vote for. I don't live in the city. I don't have any city council members. I don't have the mayor. This is it. So for the most part, rural Georgia, which is primarily red, and if you go look at the voter turnout in the primary for these races, Democrats have already outpaced Republicans. Yes, in these two races. And they know this. So if we do not kickstart rural Georgia, the red areas, and start building a fire for November, the people are coming out to vote in the cities. They're coming out. They want a new mayor, or they want to keep their mayor. They're going to get a new city council member. They're coming out. They have things on the ballot. Is it Sandy Springs? There's a mayor's race there. I mean, there's others. Look, they have things on the ballot. I don't. This is what I have on the ballot. So Democrats, if this happens and they flip one of these seats, just one, I'm telling you, I don't know if Republicans will be able to keep up the pace of money that's going to be necessary to win and beat John Ossoff. I don't care who the nominee is. So that one is tough. Now, give me this one here. And let me see if this is the one. No, we'll close. Write this down, Diane. Number 87 and 88. Those are the close. Okay. So give me 86. So Steve West wanted a recount. This is State Senate District 21. These are the candidates. Recount in Cherokee and Fulton are complete. And Deborah Shingley, the lady there, Deborah Shingley, the Democrat, and Jason Dickinson are advancing to the runoff. Now, that's September 23rd. So there you go. They had a recount. Steve West wanted a recount. This is the candidates. Democrat, Republican. Now, we have talked this week, and I keep yelling from the highest tree because I'm very concerned. And, you know, you don't hear this from me very often, but give me 3. This is Deborah, and give me 4. Go to 3 to 4 while I'm looking at my other one here, Diane. You do not hear me say this very often, but if I say, I want to be incorrect. I hope this is incorrect. I hope the analysis is different. I don't know. I just don't want to say I hope I want to be wrong. Oh, I did. Give me number 20. So These are the two candidates in the special election. Now, I will not go into this. If you go to Rumble, you can hear my segments talking about how at the Georgia Republican Party, Inc., as your first vice chair of the Georgia Republican Party, I go back and remember Kelly Loeffler, and I remember why we have Raphael Warnock as senator right now, a Democrat. I know what you're going to tell me. I can hear it. I got my David Clark big ears on. I can hear you. Okay? Now, I do know David Clark is an Army Ranger, and I respect his military service. But that don't change the fact that he's got damn-ass big ears, okay? So anyhow, moving right along. I don't dislike the guy. He dislikes me. Ooh, he no like a BKP. Give me number 20. There it is on the screen. So, right, here's my problem here. This race has never been close. I asked, you can go look at the segments, I asked, and Diane knows this too, to get rid of that jungle primary. But no, we didn't do it. Close the primaries. No, we didn't do it. We didn't do it. All right? Now, what I'm looking at here and what you're looking at is the vote count for District 21. And I will not beat this up other than to say I was talking to a lawmaker yesterday. And let's make this clear. Deborah Shingley brought in 8,438 votes. Generally, the winner of a runoff is who gets their voters back to the polls. Got it? Now, there's a couple factors here. Deborah Shingley's the only Democrat. They are pouring money. Yes, they are. They're pouring money, time, effort, volunteers into this district. Now, maybe this weekend, maybe the first of the week, but right now, I don't hear the Georgia Republican Party talk about this district. I don't see the money. I heard yesterday that the Senate State Caucus, Republican Senate Caucus, State Caucus is going to put money in this. I've not heard yet of Brian Kemp going in this district. I haven't heard that. So I do know Shingley's got money and a powerhouse behind her. And to get her votes, keep this clear, her votes, 8,439, and they got a plan and they're working on it to get her votes. Now, our candidate is Jason Dickerson. He only got 3,707 votes. So he can't just win getting his votes back. So I'm asking today, and I hope you can, I'm asking Lance Culvert, I'm asking Stephanie Donegan, I'm asking Bryce Futch, I'm asking Steve West, and I'm asking Brian Will not to be upset with me, not to attack me, but to endorse him and get out and help stop this Democrat from winning the seat. I'm asking all of you. I really am. I feel it already. You're throwing things at the screen. Rhino. I mean, I get all that. But I'm going to tell you right now, if you want rid of John Ossoff, you can't lose this seat. If you don't want to lose the governor's mansion to a Democrat, you can't lose this seat. If you don't want to lose Secretary of State to Gabriel Sterling, I know what you're thinking. You can't lose this seat. You cannot lose this seat right here. You will lose seats in the Georgia State House. You will lose seats in the Georgia State Senate. You will lose constitutional offices. Hopefully not the governor, but possibly. And John Ossoff. You can't lose this seat. Every single candidate that you support connects back like the Kevin Bacon game, the 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon, to this seat here. Get out and get this Republican across. I never met him. I don't know the guy. I don't know what he stands for. I just know down the road, I need John Ossoff gone. And down the road, I do not need a Democrat. We'll talk about the governor's race later. And I'm not just going out and saying vote R like a pirate. I don't want to be a pirate. All right. I don't want to wear a puffy shirt. That being said, I'm not saying that. But I do know why I don't want a Democrat. Now I'm going to ask you a loaded question in a minute. So, what else do I have for the weekend? Because I got 6 minutes. And I have to pick and choose because I've got several here. All right, Gabe Sterling, we got that one. Brad Raffensperger, we're waiting on his announcement. Let's throw this one in here. Give me 87. I want 87, then 88. Festivus, because I brought up the puffy shirt. Gay Pride Festivus poll could return to Georgia's capital this year. That's right. Now, every year, we decorate our Georgia state capitol for Christmas, right? For Christmas. And you can fill out a form. You can petition the state capitol to honor and recognize your holiday and honor and recognize your decorations. So we used to have at the state capitol the Festivus Gay Poll, 88. This is true. I'm not making it up. I know what you're thinking. Going into the weekend, boy, you'll say anything, right? So free speech. And a decade ago, a rainbow-colored pole topped with shimmering disco ball commemorated the made-up holiday of Festivus rose for the first time at the Georgia State Capitol. This December, it can make a comeback. So there is an activist that is trying to get the gay Festivus pole back in the Georgia State Capitol. Just thought you might want to know. All right, let me roll through here. Let me run right through here. Number 9, we're asking who, I've asked several times, do you know? Could you please help me with this? Justin Rice of the Georgia Republican Party resigned, and his last day was August 31st from the Georgia Republican Party, Inc. as the executive director. No one will tell me. And I'm going to put it that way. I'm being told I don't know. All right. So there was, and there, I feel strongly we're being lied to. How about that? I'll put it that way. I feel strongly that it's on the QT. It's on the down low, right? Because they had an executive committee meeting. Now, you do not have to vote. In the state of Georgia, the Georgia Republican Party, this is Justin Rice. He resigned effective August 31st, 2025. All right? Gone. And I knew that was coming. Now, here's number 10. Now, this guy, the gayish looking guy in glass, it's just gayish. I didn't say he's gay. That's not it. You did that on purpose, Diane. You did that on purpose. Diane, you did that on purpose. See what she did? She made a move. Now, I'm not saying the guy is gay. I'm not saying that. I didn't say that. But if I don't know the guy, I'm first thinking, well, he's got to, he's got to look. That's all I'm saying. I'm not implying anything. He could be as a hedgerow as the next guy. He may like everybody. I don't know. But that's Travis Bowden. I don't know. I do know this. He has done some pretty evil shit that I'm very aware of. That I know. What he's doing after dark, don't even want to think about it. Back to him. He was the executive director of the Georgia Republican Party, and they fired him. That's Josh McCoon, his very, very close friend, right? That's Filbert McCoon. So Filbert there, they had an executive committee meeting. Got it? They had an executive committee meeting, right? Justin Rice is gone. Now, you don't have to vote. Josh is a dictator. Yes. He makes all decisions, spending, hiring, everything. You do nothing. Just take the day off. You have no responsibility, no matter who you are. He runs it all. But they had an executive committee meeting, and no one's talking. So I guess as I continue to go on and on and on, could you help us find out who the new executive director of the Georgia Republican Party, who has that position? Help us here. Now, number 5, we'll talk about this Monday. This is the Weasel. That's who I think. That's what I think. I think his name's Greg the Weasel Dolezal. Yes, he's a state senator. He is Greg the Weasel Dolezal. All right? Just saying. I have 2 reminders we're going to go with. So I want to talk about him Monday because his silence is deafening in the 43, his relationship. Now, I know candidates that have talked to the Frost family in the past that said, hey, if I run for office, are you going to endorse me? And they said, no, we got to endorse Greg Dolezal. So Greg's very close here. There's a lot of stuff out there swirling around Greg Dolezal's possible investment in First Liberty that if I was him, I would already come and clear it up. I would put a statement out. If there was as much noise around Greg the Weasel Dolezal as there is, or smoke, I would have already come out as a Georgia state senator, very close friend to the candidate for governor, Burt Jones, and say, look, I did not invest. I'm not invested, or I did and I lost money. I hope, like myself, everyone can recover their money, and I'll work with the receiver any way I can to help that happen for the victims or something. But his silence, Greg the Weasel's silence. So we'll leave that out. I had 2 more, Diane. So we have that. And don't forget, as we close, have a great weekend. And this is number 39. Don't forget, this is the Kangaroo Court. I think you guys should see this because I bring you a lot of truth. I do. I'm not being arrogant. I'm not being anything. I bring you a lot of truth. And that would be your host right there. I think you can pick up by the hair. And that'd be Brad Carver. All right. And that'd be Alex Kaufman trying me in their Kangaroo Court. Because I have a civil action that I'm fighting with Brad Raffensperger and Chris Carr. Civil action. But then again, you could always have a $140 million Ponzi scheme. And after they tried me in their Kangaroo Court, they got together for a group photo, number 40, and gave a thumbs up that they got rid of my ass. You remember Cue Ball a minute ago? I told you, there he is. He's been up to some. He is the one right there. He whipped the vote all around the state. Take that down. Now, the fish fry, number 49. So we can go for the weekend. Now, Central Georgia Republicans Fish Fry 2025. And what I'm trying to do is the Georgia Republican Party 8th District held a fish fry fundraiser for years, but they voted, my understanding, they voted not to do it anymore. A bunch of people in Central Georgia said, let's keep the ball rolling. Let's pick it up and run with it. And I think it's great. The fish fry of 2025. And here it is. You need to come down there. I want to meet you. Come down there. I want to meet you. Doors open at 9:30. Now, we will be broadcasting live from 10:30 to 1:30. We will be doing a 3-hour special Georgia show where we will have guests. We will have candidates. We'll have you can be on the show, talk about what's important to you, all the above. And it's going to be a great time to get information from candidates and meet voters. So I want you to come down there. I'm going to be there, and I want to meet you. There you go. It's up there. Have a great weekend. You understand? God bless you. Have a great weekend. Take care of yourself. Take care of your family. Put my mom on your prayer list. She's struggling. I just leave it at that. I wasn't going to bring that up. It's been a tough week for my sisters, and I want to thank God for my sisters every day that work so hard to take care of my mother where I'm not able to be there, as she's really struggling right now. So I want to ask you kindly to put her on your prayer list. You have a great weekend. Enjoy it. It's going to be beautiful, fun with your family. And you can go to Rumble, find all of our videos and share them. You can send us, a little money, help out with our cost. And then you can always come back Monday at 8 a.m. I'll see you later. Have a good weekend.